Hi, good to be with you today. And today I sit at the threshold to the manger, at that doorway to where this miraculous birth takes place. And first, we want to thank Missy Crawford and all our youth and our leaders for the great program we had this past Sunday with the kids. And then to remind you that this coming Sunday, our choir is also going to present and be a part of our worship service, and there will be bells and trumpets and flutes and piano and voice, and we hope that you'll either tune in or come for that very special service. Yeah, we continue to be in the season of Advent. This coming Sunday is the fourth Sunday of Advent already. And for our gospel reading, we will be in the Gospel of Luke, the first chapter. Part of a familiar story of when Mary finds out that she's pregnant, and then she runs off and goes to greet her cousin Elizabeth, who she also finds out in her old age. Elizabeth's old age is also pregnant. And on the threshold of the home, they meet. And there's a recognition of the divine in one another in that moment. And first, it's Elizabeth who gives voice to the divine intervention in their lives. And then it's Mary who sings her great hymn of liberation and freedom that God brings. Threshold seems to be the theme that I'm coming to this week. There's a newness, right? That's what a threshold is, a walk through into a newness. Both Mary and Elizabeth are experiencing something they've never experienced before. And they share in this newness. And part of part of their response to this newness is this gratitude to God for it. But you and I don't think there's always this gratitude to God for newness in our life. We like things to stay the same. But Advent, Christmas, it reminds us that there's always a newness, there's always a threshold to God's love. God's love is dynamic. It's ever moving. It's ever encompassing. Kind of reminds me of that old saying that you can never step into the same river twice because it's always flowing. It's God's life, right? God's love, God's life for us, always flowing. There's newness afoot. There's change afoot. Christmas also reminds us that God is there in it. And that's the recognition of Elizabeth and Mary, that recognition that God is a part of this newness. God is a part of the change, and in fact, God brings it about. And they're never left on their own. In that time of unsurety, the time of the unknown, the time of doubt and questions, they both recognize God's presence. And I think that should bring us joy and celebration, a recognition that God's always with us no matter how new and different and life-changing life can be. You know, one of the questions that we always have, and we call it the theodicy question, is why do bad things happen to good people? But really, the way we need to ask that question is, why do people abandon God when life is hard? God's there. God's with us. So what threshold are you walking through? What newness in your life is there? What change is happening that brings you worry, that brings you anxiety? And can you find God in that moment? And can you give voice, like Mary and Elizabeth, to God being active in your life? Well, we'll see you soon. Good to be with you.